I don't believe it. Believe it, Prosecutor Gavin. What was it you told me yesterday at your office? It was a beautiful instrument. It was played lovingly for many years. A guitar befitting a woman like Lemmy. How did it end up here? I mentioned how much I enjoyed playing it that night, and she made a present of it. So this guitar is from Virginia? That it is. We couldn't carry it on the plane. Changes in air pressure and humidity ruin the wood. So we vacuum packed it in Lemmy's studio. There we are. I used a special shipping service available to me for transporting evidence, so they didn't check it because of that. They brought it right up to my office for me. Pristine and untouched. There you go. Did I get that right, Prosecutor Gavin? Untouched? Quite. The guitar was wrapped in several sheets and vacuum packed in Virginia. The pack was untouched until the day of the concert. Are you saying that guitar was used to smuggle? With cocoons this small, it would have been very easy to use your guitar as a mule to smuggle a cocoon out of Virginia. Ho ho. What? Which reminds me, Prosecutor Gavin. That guitar had some work done on it recently, right? Work? Good memory, Hair Forehead. Well, you know how guitars have a round hole in the front? It's called the sound hole. Well, they found something attached to the wood just inside the hole. A broken device of some sort. A broken device? Yes. This, in fact. Yeah, the igniter. The person that put the igniter there took the cocoon out. An igniter? Exactly. Consider this, if you will. What if that igniter wasn't the only thing that was attached inside your guitar? You mean... He means this, of course. Ah! There was a way to get a cocoon out of the country. They could use Picky Prosecutor Gavin's privileged guitar as a mule. And who better to do that than someone with access? Like a member of the band. Oh. Ew. Oh, his bloody hair. So the igniter was placed in there for a clear reason, it seems. It was a safety precaution. A precaution? Ah, Hair Forehead. At last it all comes together. Every strange thing that happened that day. Care to review? Maestro? The gentle sounds of... oh, whatever. First, my keys were stolen. A harmless misdemeanor. Oh. Which forced me to break the lock on my guitar case. Oh! The key was stolen to retrieve the cocoon from the guitar. I see. But, things didn't go so well. The smuggler wasn't counting on the guitar being wrapped. Only a member of the band could get near the case. Unwrapping the guitar would raise too many suspicions. Then the concert began. Right about this time, a very large problem presented itself to the smuggler. What's that? Mr. Latouze. Ah! Mr. Latouze, an undercover agent, was onto something. He would have known about the guitar. He'd only have to check the shipping records. So, Mr. Latouze tried to examine the guitar himself. If the cocoon were confiscated, then the jig would be up. The only thing left for the smuggler to do was to get rid of the whole lot. By burning it. It's over, press the switch. Now! The guitar burst into flames. And the cocoon was lost. Oh, it was still in the guitar! Now I understand what he meant by that. I thought they would switch it. But then I did think, like, why would they just burn the guitar for no reason? Like, to burn the evidence. No, it was to burn the guitar as well as the cocoon. And then... oh. What the hell? Wait a minute, I can actually read that. Yeah, kinda, maybe. I might just be seeing things. It does look like parts of it spells Darien. Kind of. Mr. Latouze died, with Lemmy there to witness it. There's your case. Lots of dots. Brilliant, man. Detective Crescent? Oh. I gotta know. You make all that up on the fly? For a made-up story, it makes a great deal of sense, Darian. The Republic of Virginia? Sorry, man, but I haven't even been there. True, you haven't. Huh. Let's see you make up a story for that, kid. How'd I hide the cocoon in the first place, huh? It's not so hard to imagine. You had help, a Virginian accomplice. That's all. That Hugh had an accomplice was clear from the start. The voice Lemmy heard proves it. It's over, press the switch. Now. Yeah, there we go. You made this transmission from backstage. Well, your co-conspirator was on stage. But who was it? This is it. The coup de grace. And for once I know what I'm doing. There's only one person who could have helped him. Well, there's only one Virginian aside from Lemmy that it could be. It's not gonna be Lemmy. Let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say then. But be warned, with a great accusation comes great responsibility. Make up your answer on the fly, as it were, and you'll be harshly penalised. Are you ready, Mr. Justice? Who was the smuggler's accomplice? Machi, I'm sorry, buddy. There's only one person who meets all the requirements of the accomplice. And that person is the defendant, Machi Toba. But Mr. Justice, he's your client. A defense attorney accusing his client, that's a new one. I assure you, no one is more unhappy about this than I. But I am here to defend him in the murder of Miss Latouche, and I stand by my statement earlier that he is innocent of that particular crime. Indeed, the defendant is Virginian. He does meet the basic requirements to be the accomplice. But what if it was, in fact, Lemmy? It couldn't have been. Well, you seem sure of yourself. The reason is electronic signals, Your Honour. Electronic signals? Recall that this remote only works at a range of 30 feet. Beyond that, it's useless. Yes, that's true. Now think back to the testimony. When the shooter made his transmission, Lemmy was in the air vent. Right above the dressing room where the shooter stood. Let's look at the stage diagram. This is the area that the remote could reach from the air vent. Well, looking at this, it seems that Lemmy still could have done the deed. No. When the shooter made that transmission, the stage was slightly different than shown here. It was in the middle of the guitar's serenade. Part of the stage was raised. Prosecutor Gavin and Lemmy and the Lemmy standee were in the air. They were on a tower which happened to be 15 feet tall. In other words, the only person that could have done it would have been someone that was close by. The remote couldn't have worked from Lemmy's position in the air vent. Well, Detective President, what do you say to that? Your Honour? Yes, Detective? Could we see the video where Gavin's guitar burns? Just one more time? Well, I don't see why not. What? Don't tell me he has a way out of this. Too bad, so sad, punk. Oh, because he's playing the the piano. Punk. First you were sleeves, then kid, now punk. You're losing rank fast, Apollo. What exactly were we supposed to see in this video? Machi. The problem isn't in what we see, correct, Darian? It's what we hear. The piano. Right, it's what you hear. We are musicians, after all. Care to explain for us non-musicians? Sure thing, punk. Let me get your yarn straight first. You're saying I ordered the wee pianist to set off that igniter. That right? Yes. Well, in order to do that, we'd have to press a switch. Am I right? Okay. We'll take another listen. Pay attention to the piano. Piano? Yeah, it's playing all throughout. Oh. That started then. It's already on fire. This is going to be a mixing bod time, innit? Grand. So, what seems to be the problem there? The piano sounded just fine. That's the point. And that's the problem, man. You still don't get it? Oh, that's the problem, man. You still don't get it. Ah. Yeah, how's he supposed to hit that switch if he's playing? You've got Miss Diva, the guitar, the bass, the piano, and the drums. The only one with her hands free was the Diva. Lemmy. But according to you, she couldn't have been the accomplice, could she? Okay. Your accomplice would have had a hard time helping out. If they couldn't even press a switch. I mean, Machi's lucky in the fact that he has two hands. So he could have used one hand to press the switch. That's the only thing I can think. Oh boy. The piano plays non-stop. He couldn't have pressed that switch. Well, Mr. Justice, the piano does seem to be playing when the guitar catches fire. But well, it's okay. We all make mistakes sometimes. Apollo, were you wrong? I can't be wrong. Everything makes perfect sense. How could it all just... Strange. What's strange? No, it's just... something's odd about the performance there. Odd? Mr. Justice, if Machi Toba didn't press that switch, then he could not be the accomplice you claim he is. But everything points to it. Even every fact says he's the accomplice. You got the facts wrong, man. Here are some facts for you. Gavin's guitar is on fire, but the pianist didn't press that switch. In other words, your story is full of holes. Mr. Justice, let's hear your final opinion on this matter now. Was the defendant, Machi Toba, the accomplice? Your answer will reflect on everything you've said here. Give it some thought. Apollo, if Machi's not the accomplice, then our whole case is ruined. I know that. It has to be him. He was the only one who could have helped the smuggler. He had to have pressed that switch. Well, you'd better find a way to prove it. What do I do? What do I do? There has to be something that doesn't fit. Something odd. Something odd. Wait a second. What? You thought of something? What was Gavin saying just now? The performance was odd. I like how it has to have a flashback for something that happens like 30 seconds ago. Strange. What's strange? No, it's just... something's odd about the performance there. It's not much to go on, but it's all I've got. What exactly did he hear that was odd? Did you come up with something, Mr. Justice? May I remind you that everything rests on this. Can you prove Machi Toba pressed that switch? Let's hear your final answer, and it's a verdict. Can you prove that Machi pressed that switch? I can prove it. I don't know if you call this proof, per se, but I can prove it was possible. Then, as prosecutor, it falls to me to ask you to show us evidence supporting this. Hair forehead, you're sure about this? Huh, accept it. There's no evidence, man. Oh, but there is. Let's see your evidence, Mr. Justice. On what do you base your claim that the defendant pressed the switch? Again, the basis for my claim is music, Your Honor. Music? What about music? Let's listen to the piano part around the time when the switch was to be pressed. Right before the guitar burst into flame. Wait, which one's the piano? Oh. Oh, I can't. I hear a piano being played. But, doesn't it sound kind of simple? Simple? Ah, I think I know what you're suggesting. You think Machi could have played that part with one hand? One hand? He only needed one hand to press that switch. He could play the piano with the other. What? So you're some kind of piano savant? Or savant? Actually, no. Then what do you know? You can't play a part like that with one hand. Maybe... I don't know what I'm talking about here. Wait, I know. Hey Trucy. Yeah? You got something? Mr. Wright, your father. He's a pianist. Could he... Oh, Daddy? He couldn't play a part like that even if he had 3 hands. So sorry. So sad for you. No, not really. Huh? That was just the easy way to prove it. There's always the hard way. Man, how are you going to prove whether he played it with one hand or two? You can't. I admit it will be rather difficult to prove, but it's highly likely he was playing with one hand. How do you know that? The clue is what Prosecutor Gavin described as sounding odd. What sounded odd? I'll bet we can tell by listening to a certain part of the song. No. No way. Woohoo! You don't sound so sure. Well, it seems we come to the moment of truth at last. Let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say for himself. Show us the part that proves the defendant was playing with one hand, right before the guitar burst into flame. Machi was definitely playing one-handed just before the guitar caught fire. One section of the song proves it. Okay, so, it's part 4. I could actually just do what it did here. Just have them on real quiet like. Yeah, it sounds simple. Oh, I don't actually need to click number 4 because we know which part it is. Yeah, it sounds really simple at the start, which would be about just before the guitar started to burn. And while it's burning, it sounds a lot more complex. Go! So, Prosecutor Gavin, I'm sure you realise by now just what it was that sounded odd to you. As I'm sure you've realised it yourself, Hair Forehead. Realise what? I'll demonstrate. Let's listen to the part in question again, shall we? Pay particular attention to the butterfleeting melody phrase. Yeah, it's... Bang. Man. How many times do we have to listen to the same thing? You're right. Enough of that. Let's listen to another section, shall we? Another section? The guitar burst into flame at the end of the second verse. Let's listen to the same spot in the first verse. Pay attention to "Oh, that night in your embrace." Yeah. Dun dun dun. Play verse 2 again. Oh my god. So it was as it was raising. It'd be cool if you could actually see him press it, but it cuts away. Yeah, there you go. There. Did you hear that? There was only 1 chord, as opposed to 3. Or 1 note. I'm not a music person, so I don't know what the correct term is. They feel the same, true, but they're clearly very different. What? Well put, Your Honour. The phrase in verse 2 is quite simple, but the phrase in verse 1 has high and low notes. You'd have to use 2 hands to play that for sure. What's that prove? I think you'd know by now. This is why I hate dealing with amateurs, man. So, the two verses had different arrangements. Happens all the time. Not this time, Darian. There's no point in changing an arrangement if you can't hear it clearly. And that wasn't the point. I had him play specifically so that the piano would stay in the background. Oh. That was what I noticed. Why should the same phrase sound slightly different, I asked myself. Now ask yourselves why much he changed how he played. And there's only one answer. He needed a free hand in order to press the switch. Oh no! Oh god, his limp ass hair. Gross! Order! I believe this ties all the facts together. Well, Prosecutor Gavin? Yes, quite. Though personally this comes as a terrible disappointment. Huh. What? No comeback? I can't believe it. I finally did it. I shut him up. Very well. Barring an objection from the prosecution, I will now state the court's opinion on this matter. Huh. Oh my god, again? This guy's got fight in him. Oh god. Good show, Sleeves. No, great show. It's not over. I don't like it when he looks so happy. You tell him, Gavin. Tell him what's so disappointing. Personally, I'm terribly disappointed. In you, hair forehead. Me? Yes. Don't get me wrong, your case is solid. The facts all check out, but even now, you have yet to show us a single piece of decisive evidence. Yeah, but the facts, anyone can see it was him. Unfortunately, anyone does not include the law. I'm afraid your case doesn't cut it. But 1,000 facts might point toward the same conclusion, but without decisive evidence, it's not proof. That's the rule under our current legal system. I don't believe it. It does not seem as though the defense has any more evidence to present. Oh, I think if he did, we already would have seen it a long ways back. It is unfortunate, but at present, this court is unable to acknowledge your accusation. What? Oh, jeez. The truth is staring us all right in the face. Why can't they see it? What's the point of a legal system that protects criminals? Apollo, remember what Daddy said. It won't be easy in proving he did it. Especially not under the current court system. So what do I do? Like I said, good luck. And be aware that it will be impossible to prove his guilt by conventional methods. Oh, great. Every man has an igniter inside him. Find Darian Crescent's igniter and set it off. I wonder what he meant by every man's igniter. I think he just meant a weak spot, no? The kind of thing that a single spark could turn into a wildfire of emotion. I won't be able to press him further by conventional means. I've got to find a weak spot in this guy. Something fatal. So, can I get back to work now, or what? It may look like I got a lot of time on my hands, but I got no more time to play pretend with this deadweight attorney. Well, Mr. Justice, we've come this far without decisive evidence. This witness won't be coming back to the stand once we let him go. Every man has an igniter. Huh? Didn't you say the better the guitar, the brighter it burns, Prosecutor Gavin? Oh yes, good guitars are kept dry, that is why. That provides the best sound. Even a small spark could cause irreparable damage. Your plan has an igniter in it too, Detective. It was there from the very beginning. What? Fighting time, Justice. If you blow this one, you're screwed. You'll be out of your hands for good. Go for it, Apollo. What, this igniter's supposed to come burn me up? That's almost poetic there, Mr. Attorney. All the better, I'm rather fond of poetry. And I intend to hear this one through to the very end. Hair forehead, you are accusing this man Darian Crescent of 2 crimes. The murder of Miss Latouche and the smuggling of a Borginian cocoon. This is your last chance to prove your case. This trial has already run on for far too long. Mr. Justice, this will be my last warning. The moment this igniter of yours turns out to be a dud is the moment this cross-examination ends. Understood? Yes, Your Honor. Then let's have it. Show us the basis for these accusations against Darien Crescent. Okay, this is really my last chance. The key that will take apart Darien Crescent's plan is... present evidence. Call a witness. Your igniter isn't a piece of evidence. Huh? So what is? It is true that I couldn't show decisive evidence, but perhaps what I needed to prove my case was something else. You mean, a witness? Proving his guilt is a tall order, but I've got just the person to do it. Very well, Mr. Justice. Who is this person who can prove Darien Crescent's guilt? Machi! The one person who can prove Darien Crescent's guilt is the defendant. Machi Toba. Holy shit. Your client? Again? God, this is a roller coaster. My god. So Machi Toba was an accomplice to the cocoon smuggling plot. Without him, Darien Crescent could not have gotten the cocoon. Furthermore, he can easily prove that the one who plotted to smuggle that cocoon is the real criminal in this case. How so? It would require just one of these, the very cocoons Mr. Latouz was looking for. With the cooperation of the Republic of Virginia, we could burn a cocoon. The burnt cocoon would leave a particular residue. A residue we would, no doubt, also find inside the burnt-out guitar. Very scientific of you. Thus, if Machi Toba acknowledges his agreement with Darien Crescent concerning the attempted smuggling of a Borginian cocoon, the case is solved. Oh my god. Constantly laughing. Darien's laughing again. Your unrelenting passion is remarkable. You really want to get me, don't you? Too bad you'll never be able to. Why not? The little key tickler won't acknowledge anything. Especially not anything to do with cocoon smuggling. What's this all about? Taking a cocoon out of the country means death. By Borginian law. Ah, yeah, see? If our pianist really was a smuggler, then testifying about it would be suicide. Believe me, he's not talking. But you're wrong, Detective Crescent. What? It's the other way around. If Machi doesn't admit to smuggling here, he's in deep trouble. Huh? How? God, my voice. Look, if Machi admits to smuggling here, then he'll be tried in our courts by our laws. You don't get the death penalty for smuggling in our country. Ah. The victim in this case was an undercover Interpol agent. I'm sure that news has already reached Virginia. And they'll likely broadcast our dealings in court today, including the part about the Borginian cocoon. Yeah, but... his limp dick hair. But if Machi doesn't admit to smuggling now, he'll eventually be picked up by the Borginian police. And it's not like he's in any danger in our court. We're not going to find him guilty of murder here. Not now. Yeah, but you can't do this. You can't accuse me. Maybe the law doesn't allow it. But who's going to think you're really innocent after hearing this trial? The same goes for Machi Toba. The cocoon smuggling your entire plan. Machi Toba knows everything. There's only one way out of it for him. And that's to acknowledge his own crime. The crime of cocoon smuggling. Break down? Oh no! This guy doesn't break down. Heh. Don't worry. Oh, don't worry there. I'll get you out of the country. I'll set you up someplace. A hidden mansion? Real nice. You want a house made out of cookies? Or, no, a house made out of pianos? Come on. Wait, what? I'm confused. Please. Oh, Jesus! Oh, don't talk. Oh, right, so just saying that Machi could talk is what was the breaking point. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. His hair resembles even more of a penis now. Very nice, Gavin. Very nice. Darian? I consider that my last session with you. We rocked. I'm guessing we can treat that outburst as a confession? Uh-oh, he's laughing again. There's a kind of sick desperation in it now, though. And there it is. Well, have you been listening to today's trial? Jeez. Yes. And you'll talk? You tell this cat everything? Didn't want it to turn out this way. But I'm not the kind of lawyer that can overlook a crime. Today's trial was all for your benefit, you know? I see no reason why you should hesitate now. I knew from beginning I knew. Machi, situation, I cannot explain, but money I needed. Very much money. Today's trial raises a delicate issue with our legal system. The only thing definite in a court of law is evidence. This is the golden rule. However, it has become apparent that all things can be tried by this standard. Should another case of this sort surface, we may have to consider an alternate system by which to administer justice. Anyway, Mr. Machitoba? Yes? I promise you will receive a fair trial by the laws of our country. And with regards to the current charges for the murder of Miss Latouche, this court is prepared to announce a verdict. Whoa! I thank you. I only lie, but you see truth. You find truth. That's our job. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Machitoba, not guilty. Woo! Holy crap. This trial really was a rollercoaster. It went on for ages. Sheesh. Court is adjourned. Yay! That was ridiculous. Phew. Ow. Lobby number 2. I wonder what'll happen to Machi. Well, he did smuggle a cocoon out of Virginia. I guess I'll be another trial here. All's well that ends well. Hey, it's Phoenix! Daddy! I owe you both my thanks. Lammy! Why, is something wrong? I'm sorry. Machi was your partner on stage, your friend. Yes, I thought of him as my own son. Even now I do. Yet, something got a hold of him. Something evil. I see that. And he must pay for what he has done. Is that not how it should be? I'm still sorry. Do not be sorry. You have given me courage. Courage? I am considering an eye operation. Oh! It was my suggestion, actually. You mean, you'll be able to see again? It's funny. I've always been afraid of the light. Light seems so harsh, so unforgiving. According to the doctor, Lammy lost her sight due to some kind of accident. An accident? As you know, I suffer from amnesia. I feared that, if I could see, perhaps it would open my eyes to the truth I have been running from. I was scared. You know what changed her mind? Hearing your defense in there today. She could feel your gaze, unwavering, always looking straight at the truth. If the light returns to my eyes, I think I will take up painting. Painting? That's right, she's the landscape painter in sound after all. I will paint the two of you, I promise. Woohoo! I can't wait, Lammy. I owe my thanks too, Apollo. Thanks, Mr. Wright, but for what? You reminded me I need to hurry things along. On my secret mission, that is. Right, your secret mission. Apollo, Trucy, I hope that we will meet again someday soon. You bet, me too. Is that it? And so, like a ballad, the trial flowed on and on, until it came to the end. Thanks to the trial, the guitar's serenade was a huge hit. Prosecutor Gavin's even more dazzling to look at now. But, there's something I want to say to that guy. Next time you write a ballad, have them catch the killer at the end? Haha. Hey, there we go. Oh my god, that was a fucking doozy. I don't know how long the trial was in total. If I had to guess... Whoa! Why is... I can't remember his name. But, you know, the attorney Gavin. Why is he showing his face? That's a bit weird. Huh. Yeah, I don't know how long that trial went on for in total, but I know it went for a while. I'd probably say 6 hours, maybe more. Not too sure. Either way, one trial remains, and it's probably the longest one in the game, which is fun. Either way, that is going to be the end of this session. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. And until next time, take care.